What's up, guys? So, I'm in the process of downloading my health video, the number 3 video that I uploaded, I guess, like podcast type. That's my longest video, hour and 20 minutes. But basically, it's like 3 separate videos, and I'm downloading it right now into one video, and it's gonna take a while. And then I gotta upload it, so that's gonna take a while. But I'm like, fuck, I don't want to sit around. I just want to talk about something. So, might as well get back on cam, see what's up. If you're already this far in the video, come on, go ahead, smash that like. Help me out, subscribe. I'm trying to get this channel off the ground, It's not easy. Like, making these videos, trying to have something to talk about, and editing them and stuff. Like, I haven't really gotten into that too much, but I'm just saying, like, hey, I'm putting in some effort, And, like, I was trying to create my Patreon page, and I'll probably try to get that finished later on today, so I can at least have it up and running, If someone's only going to give me, like, $5, whatever, at least, like, it helps me out, because, like, I'm spending a lot of time doing this, so whatever, whatever helps, You throw me $1, man, I'll take $1, man. But I don't know, like, I haven't really figured it out, because I think you have to break it down into, like, these tiers. And so it's like you got to put down like 3 to 5 things. So if I put like $1, then what am I gonna put, like $1, $5, $10, I don't know. So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. And then you're supposed to have like fucking like gifts or whatever, or I don't know, I don't know what they call it, but basically, like, if you're gonna be like paying on Patreon or like supporting this person, you should get something, right? Like, you should get a benefit. And so I've been watching these YouTube videos. I've been doing research, trying to figure out what to give out. And it'd be cool if you guys threw me some info, what would be a good idea. Right now I'm thinking, for the topper tiers, it'd be cool to have personal videos, like videos that only those people could see, or maybe even like you ask me something specifically, like, hey, can you talk about this? And I'm like, okay, I'll make a specific video just for that. Or something, right? And then I'm thinking, like, on the lower tiers, maybe just put their fucking, like, their at handle or whatever that's called, like their screen name. I don't know what the fuck you call it nowadays. But basically put their name, whatever they want, as a credit. And so they get some credit. I'll put the credit in the video or whatever. I don't know. I got to figure out how to do all this shit. But these are just some thoughts that I have right now. And a lot of people, they got like stores. So like, oh, I'm going to sell you like a hat or a shirt or something. But I'm not on that level. I'm not trying to fucking like start a store, I'm like, fuck, dude. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, let's see, what should I talk about? Should I talk about drugs? All the fucking drugs I did? I mean, I don't know, making these videos, like, nobody's checking them out, right? But it's like when my family checks them out, I don't know what they're gonna check out first, but, if I have a fucking video titled, like, drugs or some shit like that, my mom's gonna check it out. Whatever, man. It was my fucking life, I did what I did. Fuck it. Let's do this one on drugs. Right now, like, the only drug that I'm really taking, I guess, is like medical marijuana. And I don't know. I'm trying to get off that shit, or at least cut back, because I feel like it's bad for my lungs and like my airway. And I need to get back into like the healthcare system, maybe get some pills or something, because the weed's not really doing a lot for the pain. But when I tell them, like, hey, I'm smoking weed for the pain, then they probably like think, oh, okay, that's what it is or something. But nobody really cares about the weed, right? Because, like, I mean, maybe I'll make a separate video on that, like, talking about the strains or something, or my experience growing or something. But let's talk about college. Yeah. So growing up, I didn't really fucking do anything like drug wise. I was a square. I graduated high school, joined the army. I didn't fucking take any drugs or anything, but they definitely gave you drugs. I fucking got anthrax shots and shit. But I remember like the first actual like recreational drug that I ever took. It was kind of like towards the end of the time in my army. That girl that I was with, she had Xanax because she had like anxiety and stuff. So she had Xanax. I took one. I was like, I got fucked up. I was all tired and shit. But you know, it wasn't too crazy. It was like just like my first experience. And then after that, it wasn't like really recreational, but I was having a lot of like my kidney issues and like pain in my side and pain in my back and stuff. So when I go in the hospital, they give me stuff. And I remember one time, so she worked in the hospital, so she knew some stuff. So like when she took me in this one time and I was like in pain, it's like, man, this hurts. She's like, give him, I'm pretty sure this is what she said, give him a, fuck. Nah, man, I just blanked it. Like I had it. It's like, give him Demerol and Toradol, I think. It has to be that combo or something, but I don't know. It was like those two drugs or some shit. And I remember like laying in the bed, and I guess I'm like fighting it, and she looks at me and she's like, don't fight that shit, you know, just ride it, you know, just ride the fucking wave, whatever. And I remember like I just fucking relaxed, and I was like, oh shit, like I don't know. That was like the first time that like the drug made me relax. Like I was like, oh yeah, this feels good. And I remember we went to Jack in the Box and went home. I don't know. I don't remember much after that, but that was like the first crazy shit that I did. And then I was in community college for about a year and a half. Fucking mosquito. I was in community college for about a year and a half, and I didn't really do much, but I started hanging out with some friends. Started like going over to Tempe, ASU area, and there was nights where like they'd have poker games and shit like that. So that's kind of the time where I started smoking weed, but I didn't really smoke that much. And then I remember the first time they went to a rave. It was downtown Phoenix, and we didn't have shit, but one of our buddies went around and found somebody that was selling some Molly or... Nah, I think it was ecstasy, because it was just like, it wasn't... I'll get into it later, but, you know, there's a difference between Molly and ecstasy. And this shit was ecstasy because it was like this tablet. It was like a, I don't know, like a triple stack fucking blue Pokemon or something, right? I just remember, I want to say it was like a triple, and this was like the first time I ever took it, you know? So like, I took that shit, and I fucking wilded out, man. Like, I had such a good time. Like, oh man, that was such a fun night. Like, holy shit. That shit was fun. Think about that night. Like, I don't even know who we saw, but I remember like there was like a, I don't know, it was almost like there was a warehouse in an alley. So like you were like, there was one part where you could go inside this warehouse and people were dancing and shit. And there's like an alleyway and there's like another person out there, and then over like in this other warehouse or whatever on the other side, there's another person. But I remember we went into like this one, and in that warehouse at some point they ended up like separating, and they fucking did that mosh pit and shit. And I don't know, and then people like had the glow sticks and shit. And yeah, I mean, I was having a good time. And like my girl was there, I had buddies there. There were like other girls there that were hanging out with them and stuff. So like we all were just having a good time. And that's definitely one of my top favorite drugs is ecstasy, or anything to do with that. Ecstasy, Molly, like any of that. you know, I've read that they're trying to do experimental studies or like trial runs or whatever with soldiers and PTSD. And it's like, I definitely get it. But at the same time, I've done it multiple times. And it's like, it's fun. But the next day, you know, it's like, oh man, my spine hurts. Like, fuck, man, I feel like I'm on fire. Like, you know, like shit's just wrong with you. Like, you don't feel good and then you're feeling like depressed and stuff. Like, you just crashed. Like, you fucking crashed. And like, I felt that shit, man. But in the moment, like, enjoying that night is worth it. Because, like, you're going to go out and you're going to get drunk. And if you get really fucking drunk, then you're going to get hungover and you're going to get fucked up the next day anyway. And I've definitely had days where I was horribly hungover, like, ridiculous. And I would so much rather be, you know, having that spine pain or whatever and enjoying that night before. But, so that was my first experience with ecstasy. And then, I don't know, I've done it multiple other times. And so when I say there's like a difference between ecstasy and Molly, it's just like, what I consider ecstasy is like, it's just cut with a bunch of shit, you know? Like, maybe not a bunch of shit, but it's like a tablet that it's probably got something else in it, you know? I don't know, like some other upper, I don't fucking know, right? But, so you got that shit, and then you got Molly, which comes in a capsule, and it's kind of like a crystal form. It's supposed to be just pure MDMA, and I don't know, I mean, I guess that's what it is, but I remember taking that shit, and it feels a lot smoother. Like, it was good, you know? It's like I felt like valleys and peaks, you know? It was like kind of just like cruising on a wave. It felt different than the ecstasy. The ecstasy was more like, more like a meth, you know? Methamphetamine. Just, yeah, you know? Just fucking energy. And the Molly's kind of a mixture of like meth and weed, you know? It's like, yeah, then it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. That's how I took it. And then I remember one night we went to go see Bass Nectar. God damn, dude. We went to go see Bass Nectar at the Tempe Improv, and I ended up getting all these white skulls. So we had a bunch of white skull fucking candies, like, I don't know, probably like at least like 30 or something, 20, 30 tablets. And I don't remember how many people went, but man, that was such a fun night too, because I remember going there, and it was kind of crazy because like we were going there and we are supposed to be going there, like, I know there was like at least me and my buddy and these two girls, and there was like another buddy. I don't know who else went, but there was multiple people, right? And then I remember this first girl. It was the first time taking ecstasy, and she took that tablet and just fucking wilded out, man. So like, we took the tablet at the house so you can kind of like get used to it and like be cool or whatever. And then we got dropped off at the Tempe Improv. And when we got there, we just pulled up right up front. Like, I got my handicap pass, so like we just pulled up right up front, and there's like a bunch of parking and shit, and like I got to get around that, so that was cool. But it was also kind of crazy because like we're right up front, just fucking rolling our balls off, and fucking there's cops right there, you know. So we're like, shit. But this girl, I don't know, man, something wrong with her. She just couldn't handle it. Like, she started freaking out. She started like bouncing her leg, like she had a lot of energy. So I get that, but then she started like taking her like driver's license, like fucking eating it and shit, like chewing on it. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, that's what you do, right? Like, you know, you have a lot of energy. Go. You have a lot of energy, so you're fucking bouncing your leg, and like, I grind my teeth, like my jaw or whatever. So I get it, but it was her first time, so, you know, it was just kind of crazy. So my sister ended up taking her and her friend, and like they bounced, and then like these other girls came through, and then that was weird too, cause like so this girl came through with her friend, but her friend was like whack, like super whack, and we had to wait in line to get in the door and stuff, and she just got tired of waiting, was complaining and stuff, and we're like, fuck it, then just leave, you know. And so her friend bounced and dropped her off and brought a different girl back, and that's cool because like that girl I started dating for a while, but we had a good time. That was a fun night. I don't really remember a lot, but we went in, saw Bass Nectar, but like I'm fucking rolling. Like my face is just melted, man, because I remember going in and I remember walking through the crowd and stuff and just, you know, having a good time, like moving. But that's it, man. And then I remember like I was outside, like in the back of the truck, and then we're going down Mill and just going to the bars on Mill. Like, I don't know. I remember that shit. And then we got home, and that night we fucking just kept eating pills until the morning. So that was definitely a good memory. Yeah, that was a good night. I don't know. I did ecstasy and Molly, and so there was this other one. What do they call it? Moon rocks. It's like the same shit, I guess. I don't know. But basically, I got these moon rocks one time for Halloween, and we went out. That shit was insane because I was wearing one of those morph suits. I don't know if you know what that is. It's kind of like a unitard. It's like a skin tight suit, but I was basically dressed like a dead guy. Like I look like a corpse or whatever, you know, like you're in anatomy and physiology looking at that dead body, and basically that's what I was. You know, you can see the bones and the skin, and then I had a little thing like right here where like your heart is or whatever, and you put your phone there and you download this app and it's like beating. So it was kind of cool, you know. I'm walking around doing that shit, and a lot of people liked it, and they're like, damn, you know, people taking pictures. And I'm fucking, I'm just rolling, you know, having a good time, not drinking, you know, just going out, like, dancing, fucking, taking pictures, like, yo, yeah, like, let's take some pictures, what's up, and then, like, fucking, yeah, it's you know, but, you know, that's what all those drugs are, you know, they're like uppers, like, MDMA, ecstasy, whatever, moon rocks. Like, I'm cool with it, but that next day, you're gonna feel that next day, you know? You're gonna feel the pain, but like I said, it's better than alcohol. Alcohol's probably like the worst drug I ever had. No joke, man. First time I ever got drunk, I was probably like 15. And I remember my sister, she's dating this guy, right? Like, he was my brother-in-law, but he was older and he graduated high school. And my mom, I don't know, this was probably back when you could drink when you're 18, but my mom got like a 6-pack of like Bacardi, like the fucking whatever, right? You know, they're not strong or anything. But I was like a 15-year-old kid, so like I think 2 of those are drinking. You know, maybe he drank 2, maybe she drank 1, I don't know. But like I ended up drinking the other 4, and then I was like looking for other shit in the fridge. And there's just like little fucking wine bottles I think you're supposed to use to cook with or some shit. But I'm drinking that shit. There was like a big wine bottle, but like there was only a little bit in there. I drank that shit, and man, it was not good. But basically, you know, I just got fucked up, and then I go over to my neighbors, and I'm like, yeah, you know, fucking acting stupid and shit, and you know, he's like, man, just go, you know, whatever. And then I walk like, dude, no joke, probably like quarter mile, half mile at least. I'm fucking like, had to walk under the 51 freeway, like under the bridge and shit. But I go to this girl's place and hit her up, and I don't remember if we're dating or something, but like I hooked up with her, but not that night. But that night, she's like, bro, like you're drunk, get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you, you know? And I'm fucking like 15 or whatever. So I remember just like, I left, and I remember just like laying in the road, just like all fucked up, like, And then I got up, walked home. I don't know, it was pretty fucking crazy. And then like I just started puking and shit, and that was like my first experience with alcohol. And so after that, I didn't really like drink that much because that fucked me up. So like, you know, after that, 15, 16, like I didn't really drink. And 17, joined the army, didn't drink. And then probably at like 20, I was like 20 going on, like, so I was like 20 going on 21. And that's when I was like getting out of the army and stuff. And that's when I started drinking again because I met this girl. We met up at a bar, and then she ordered a drink for me because I was like 20, but you know, they didn't care. And I had that drink. It was just one drink, but like that was like my first drink, getting back in the game, you know. And then yeah, that girl fucking, I did some shit with that girl. I remember like for my 21st birthday, she took me out to RTO Sullivan's. It's supposed to be like an Irish bar. And I'm born on St. Patrick's Day, so man, that shit was wild. So for my 21st birthday, we ended up stopping at like that fucking I don't know, you know, like that little corner store. So we stopped at like a corner store, fucking CVS or whatever, and I just pick up like a blank white t-shirt. Well, she gets it. She's like, all right, let's get this blank white t-shirt. And then she grabbed like a black magic marker and a green magic marker. She's like, I'm gonna have you go around and like just meet people, get signatures, fucking get pictures, whatever. So that was cool. We go there, start drinking, start partying. I'm getting all these like people like signing my shirt. Like some of them, you know, like they're saying stupid shit, but a lot of them, like, you know, this girl's like, you're cute, or like they're like, oh, this is a cool idea, or like, you know, happy St. Patrick's Day, like whatever, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But then I was like fucked up. Like I got super fucked up that night. And before we left, we ended up going to Denny's to try to like sober up. And that was a pretty wild night because on the way to Denny's, we ended up fucking, you know, we're just walking there and I'm like horny. So we're like, let's just fucking stop right here and bang one out real quick, you know? But then we're like at Denny's and yeah, there's other people like there and shit. And I'm just like fingering her in the booth. Like, I don't know. It was legit. And then go to drive home. And we're just like having sex in the truck, like as I'm driving on the way home. And I remember we're going through like this tunnel and a trucker fucking like looks over and sees and he's like honks his horn or some shit. But I'm like, yeah, dude, that's what's up. Like, that's a good memory for 21st birthday. And yeah, I mean, that was a good 21st birthday. Like, another alcohol time where I got really fucked up, but it was also cool. Cool, but not cool. But so we go to Mill, and I was drinking. I think we're at this club that I forget what it's called, but it's on the corner, and then you have to walk upstairs, and so it's upstairs. Like below it, there's like a sub shop or something, I don't remember, or a taco shop, and then above it's the bar. And so we went up there, and we're partying and stuff. And then there's this girl out on the balcony smoking. So I'm like, I'm gonna go hit on her. So I go out, like I don't smoke, but I bum a cigarette or whatever, start talking. And she's got a friend there. So I'm talking to her friend, like her friend comes over or whatever. I don't know. But basically at the end of the night, we go to leave and we're walking down Mill, and then my sister's picking us up and everyone gets in the truck and we're all getting in the truck. And she gets in the truck, but her friend doesn't want to get in the truck because her friend is over on the wall making out with this dude, right? I'm like, I don't know this dude, but in my mind, I'm like, it's not my buddy, you know, it's not my bro. Like, I got to do something to get her away, right? So I'm like, fuck. So her friend, her friend's telling her like, come on, let's go. And she's like, nah, you know. And I was like, I don't remember her name, but at the time I did. And I told her like, oh, you know, like, I'm just gonna make these names up, right? But I'm like, hey Becky, like, you know, like, I didn't yell, you know, but because it's the girl that like is in the truck. But I'm like, hey Becky, like, I bet you, you know, like, your girl Lindsay, like she, the guy doesn't know her name, some shit like that, right? And so this girl walks over to her friend, and the dude's like making out with her or whatever, and she stops him and she's like, "What's her name?" And he's like, "What? What are you talking about?" She's like, "What's her name?" He's like, "I don't know." And then she's like, "Come on, we're going." And like the girl's like, "No, no." And then like her friend's like, "Nah, Jeff knows your name. Like, come on, we're going. Like, at least he knows your name." Like some shit like that. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, just me paying attention and me like remembering her name is what got her away from that dude. And so I'm like, that's pretty fucking dope. So we get in the truck, and like all of us are in the truck now. And my sister takes off, and I'm like, damn, I don't feel good. So I start puking out the side of the truck, the window rolled down and shit. We get to the house, and I'm puking. I go inside, like I got my own bathroom in my room. And so I go in my room, and I go in the bathroom, I'm just puking and puking and puking and puking. And puking and puking and puking, like no joke, man. I puked for definitely an hour, probably like 2-3 hours, some shit. I'm like, dude, I have alcohol poisoning, But the reason why this night was so legit is because that girl, she kept coming in my room, like rubbing my back and like giving me water to drink and like trying to help me out, right? And then finally, when like I just had nothing left to puke and I was done, she starts fucking like taking off my shirt, taking off my pants, like get me in bed and stuff. And then her friend comes in the room, and they lock the door. They both start fucking around with me, and I'm like, that's what's up, like, but I was fucked up, like, I'm just, like, laying there, like, like, no joke, I wasn't doing shit, and then all of a sudden, Jeff, my fucking buddy comes over, and he starts knocking on the door like a little fucking kid. Jeff, and I'm like, God damn, dude. And like these girls are like, go away, he's busy. And like finally I'm like, fuck it, like he's my buddy, like I've known him since kindergarten, whatever. Like so I get up, I unlock the door, let him in, I'm like, yo, what's up? And then he fucking comes, lays on the bed, and so he's trying to like scoop one of the girls, right? And then he grabs one of them and goes to his room, and then the other girl's like, all right, fine, and so she's like fucking with me. And then I guess he busts his nut, like it's pretty quick. And then she comes back, and she's just like laying down like the foot of the bed or whatever and complaining. She's like, you left me with freak, like I don't know, saying shit, like just talking shit, right? And then my buddy comes through, and he's just like, get the fuck out of my house, like all this crazy shit, screaming and stuff. So basically that was like the end of that, but I almost had a threesome. Like I kind of did, but not really, because he came and took the girl and then kicked him out. So I give him shit for that all the time. I'm like, bro, you fucking ruined like that threesome for me. Come on, man. You don't hook me up with girls. Come on, man. I hooked you up, but that was a fucking wild night on alcohol, and I had so many of those wild nights on alcohol. Too many to remember. Like, I remember one where I just got fucked up and I was just puking and puking. Like, I don't know, probably got alcohol poisoning again, I puked for like an hour or two. And like I was in an apartment building, so I'm like, not fucking like really loud. My sister could hear me, so I'm like, I'm pretty sure other people could hear me. But yeah, that's why I don't like alcohol. Like alcohol, no joke, can fuck you up. And even the crazy shit too is like those people that become alcoholics and they get addicted. They're addicted to alcohol and they're fucking drinking all the time. They can't stop drinking, otherwise their body starts having withdrawals and like they could die. And I'm like, damn, dude, like that's some intense shit. Like at least weed isn't like that. And I don't know what happens with ecstasy, but there's no way I could be taking that every single fucking day. I mean, I'd have to be like microdosing or something. So speaking of microdosing, let's talk about mushrooms. Yeah, first time I ever did mushrooms was the mushrooms that I grew myself. Some crazy shit. I was just like, fuck, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. So I did the research, figured out how to grow them, bought the spores online, fucking experimented, grew that shit. I had enough for like everyone, for a whole bunch of people, and we went up to Sedona, they're talking about like Vortex or some shit. It's supposed to be a good spot, right? So I'm like, all right, we go up to Sedona. There's like probably 6 or 8 of us, and we all took probably like at least an eighth, probably like 4 grams, something like that. And like one buddy, he's like, dude, they taste like shit. No joke. I don't like them. It was fucking nasty, but this dude's like puking. So he ended up like puking. Like, I'm like, bro, you puked your mushrooms up. Like, you're not gonna feel anything. He's like, no, I'm good. Like, you only ate like half of them too. But, and then we had this other buddy too. He only ate like half of his. And then like when we're tripping and shit, he tried to like sneak him to this girl. Like, he wasn't like sneaking them to her, but like he was sneaking them in her bag, like pretending they were hers. And I'm like, bro, I saw you do that shit. Like, what you doing? Nah, man, I ate mine. What you talking? I'm like, whatever, you know? Like, if you ain't trying to go hard, don't go hard. Like, I get it, but don't be fucking lying, man. Don't be a fucking liar. I ain't fucking with liars, man. But, you know, he tried to play that shit off. But, yeah, we're all fucked up, and that shit was fun, because all we did, like, we basically just went hiking, which is weird, but it was the weirdest fucking hike ever, too, because, like, we start hiking, and then we get to a spot where it's, like, kind of, like, spread out, and there's rocks and stuff, and then we just, like, relax and chilling, and then we start, like, taking pictures, or, like, just talking to each other, or, like, exploring around, and then some people, like, be putting the rocks in a certain formation, and then we went off the path and just kept going higher and higher, and then eventually the sun started to set, and we're like, alright, fuck, we gotta bounce. And we started going down, and that was like the coolest look, like looking down and seeing everything. And then, I don't know, that's pretty much what, like, it wasn't anything too crazy, but it was fun. Let's see what else. I'm gonna talk about something else. I'm gonna have to pause this though and go put this shit on my computer. Alright guys, I'm back. And you know, if you guys pause the video or whatever, then you're back now or some shit, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe, help me out. You know, it doesn't cost you anything except a little extra effort. And it would definitely help me out, because this fucking page is brand new. I'm trying to get this shit off the ground. And I'm just talking about what I have on my mind. So hopefully it's interesting to you guys. But this video I'm talking about drugs. And I was talking about the time that I took mushrooms. The first time that I took mushrooms. And that shit was wild. Because I grew that shit myself, you know. So that's pretty intense. I don't know, I didn't really get like into it that much though. Like I probably tried it like once or twice, maybe 3 times. I don't know, I tried it a couple more times, right? But nothing crazy. I also tried acid. That's pretty cool, you know, the way your vision changes and stuff. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about that though. There was like 4 of us, like a bunch of buddies. We just went out to this area, like the wilderness at night. But there was other times too, so like I don't remember them all, but we didn't really do anything crazy. It was mostly probably just went out to the wilderness or something. Sorry about that. Fucking washer kept beeping, so I'm like, I'm gonna turn that shit off. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of drugs, but like now I'm fucking blanking. I'm like, I should just go take a hit, right? I should put a video of me taking a hit, but I don't know. Damn, this is gonna be a short video then, cause like I can't think of anything right now. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna have to pause the video and fucking take a hit, cause like, man, how am I not fucking thinking of some of this shit? I'm like, I didn't even talk about coke. that could be something that fucked up my nose. Like, I don't think so, because there's other people that did some crazy shit, right? You know, like I seen like Joey Diaz, and he's always talking about how much coke he did. And I'm like, fuck, like I did coke, but not a lot, you know. But I don't know if it has something to do with fucking up my nose. But I'm gonna go take a hit, and then we'll talk about blow. Alright, I'm back. I know it's kind of fucking sketch, but that's my fucking piece. I recently picked up this e-nail. It's dope because I don't have to use this fucking torch anymore. That shit makes, you know, so if you smoke weed, most people are like, man, that ain't too crazy, right? But you start pulling out a fucking torch, yeah, yeah, people are like, this fucking crackhead, man, what you doing? So now all I have to do is hit this button, it starts to heat up. I'll show you that fucking, the super jack. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Tell me that shit look good. Oh, fuck yeah. This is some of that raw distillate with the terpenes reintroduced. So, if you guys know what I'm talking about, cool. If you don't, you best educate yourself. This is the top of the top, man. This is the cream of the crop. I don't fuck around. I don't fuck around, man. I don't fuck around. I mean, this is probably too big. Maybe I'm trying to impress you guys, right? Maybe I'm just trying to get high so I have a good time on this video, but I'm about to let this shit warm up. It's at temperature right now, but I like it to spread out to the bowl a little more before hitting it. And I do that to fucking like cool it down. Because as soon as you take a hit or as soon as you put the dab on it, it's going to cool down a little bit. And I just want it to all be, I just want to be able to smoke that shit all at once. Like, damn, dude. Yeah, man, I love weed. But I don't fuck with flower. I only fuck with that gold, man. This fucking golden wax. I'm kind of curious, like, look, if you guys want to go ahead and comment, I'd like to know how many people smoke wax, because I don't think it's that common. Like, a lot of people be smoking weed. Like, my buddy, like, he'll take a hit of wax, but he doesn't buy wax. He only, like, smokes my wax, and then he'll buy weed. He hasn't been buying weed lately because he's trying to quit, but he smokes weed, he bought weed, but he would never buy wax. And then, same thing with this other buddy, you know, he just smokes weed. He doesn't even really smoke wax. And I know this other guy, like my uncle's buddy, he's older, you know, he's like 50, but it's like those guys, you know, they're not gonna touch this shit, so I get it. I'm thinking this is probably like for the younger crowd, you know, people in their 20s, they probably smoke this shit, right? You guys get down with the wax, right? If you don't, you better try it, man. And that raw distillate's where it's at. But don't get that raw without the terpenes, because it's just gonna taste like shit, I guess. Like me, I don't really fucking care, you know, because I can't taste, I can't smell. But it does make a little difference, I guess. Alright, man. Let's do this shit. My lungs are only so big. Alright, guys, I'll see you. Oh, man. Alright, I'm back. Whew. Some of that Super Jack. Yeah, so I've been getting pretty heavy into the wax recently. Basically, I've been going through like an 8th a week since like I don't know, June or July. It's like July, August, September. Fuck, man. Shit's real, man. It isn't real. So, oh man. So if I remember correctly, I was going to talk about Coke. I don't remember the first time I tried it, but I know I tried it multiple times. And one of the craziest stories is fucking, we're at Old Town Scottsdale. So it's like a place to party in Scottsdale. And we were parked right there. And I was parked in like one of the handicap spots, fucking right up front. And they were in the back seat fucking doing coke. And there's like police officers walking by in like the street. I'm like, God damn, dude. And then like I did a line. And then we went in, partied, whatever. Crazy times. I don't know, like, I don't know how many times I've done coke, but definitely over a dozen times. And then it got to the point where, like, I didn't really care, right? Like, I wasn't really trying to do coke, except this one time. There was this one time, way back in the day, when I was, like, in college and stuff, I was trying to stop smoking weed. Or maybe maybe my card ran out or something, so I couldn't get weed. I don't remember, but I think I was trying to stop smoking weed, and I was like, fuck, I was craving something. So then I hit the guy up and got like like an 8-ball of coke or whatever, and then I did like a little or whatever, did my fucking thing, and I was just like, nah, man, nah, dude, this is not me, man, this is not me. So I didn't even finish it. And I just saved it until the next time, like, everyone was partying and wanted coke, and then I just brought it out and shared it with everyone. But I just got back on the green, man, because I can't fuck with that white. I don't know. It's just not me. I'm all about that green. So, yeah, I've done it plenty of times, but it's always, like, as a group. It was never my thing. I wasn't like, oh, yeah, let me go do a line, because, like, that's what I'm trying to do. Or the shit that I got into is freebasing that shit. My buddies be like, oh, we can make this last longer if we go ahead and throw it on a foil, mix it together with some baking soda, and freebase it. And it's like, whatever, I'm gonna fucking do what the people are doing, right? I was jumping on the bandwagon. So, everyone's hanging out, having a good time, and they start freebasing coke, and I try it, and like, god damn, dude, that's nasty. I don't know how people do that shit. Like, if that's basically like crack, right? Except sometimes like crack is worse because they got it like cut with something. But if you're smoking that, like, oh, that's disgusting, man. Like, I would smoke it, and like, you don't even like, like, you take a hit of weed, like, you can get some smoke. You take a hit of hookah, you get a big ass fucking hit of smoke. You take a hit of that freebase coke or crack or whatever, like, you barely get any smoke, and it tastes like shit. You exhale, and you're like, oh man, it tastes nasty. And it's like, you know, that feeling you get like when that drippage comes when you're doing coke. It's kind of like that, but worse, you know. I don't know. I'd rather just fucking do some lines, but at the same time, it's like, dude, that's gonna fucking eat through your nose and fuck with you, you know. So I don't know. I just stay away from that shit. I don't like it, but I've done it plenty of times, and I'm still around it, you know. But I just passed now. I'm like, nope, I'm good, man. I just need my weed. That's it. I occasionally take a shot, you know. Probably like this last week, like I took like 2 shots. You know, they were partying and stuff, and I'm like, all right, like I'll have a couple drinks, but I literally only had like 2 shots, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm good. Just gonna keep smoking, you know, like that's it. I'm just gonna fuck with weed. So yeah, I don't touch that white. I don't fuck with that shit. Man, I had something else too that I was gonna say. I'm gonna have to pause this shit real quick. Oh yeah, so I was trying to think about what it was, because like when I was smoking and then I started coughing, so I had to pause the video and stuff. And while I was like coughing and stuff, I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, there's this one time. So there's one time in winter, we all pitched in for a cabin, right? And we got this cabin up north. So we went up north, and oh man, like I kind of want to tell the story, like, yo, it has to do with drugs, but before we get to that, it's like, it was just a crazy ass fucking time to get in there, because I just had a fucking, I know you're like, man, this guy's saying fucking a lot, right? Whatever, I don't give a fuck. So I had a Dodge Dakota 2-wheel drive. Not good in the snow, man. Not good in the snow. So we're going up, I don't know, we're going up the freeway or whatever, and we get to this point where it was just like it was weird. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I want to say like 2 cars were stopped, or like, I don't know, but basically like before you get to this hill that's like fucking steep and you're going up, these cars were stopped. Like, I don't know, like I think maybe 1 car was stopped, and then so we had to slow down, and we're like trying to get over, but then the other car stopped to like help this car or something, and then like I just remember like I got stopped. Once I got stopped, that was it, man. I was stuck. I was like, fuck, dude. And this lady was stuck. And so we're like, fuck it. We just got out and we helped her. And like me and my buddy, we basically like pushed her as she's driving. We pushed her like up this mountain. And I don't remember how far we got, but like, oh no. So we were pushing my truck, right? We pushed my truck. We fucking pushed my truck up the mountain. I think my sister was probably like on the gas or something, and like the guys are outside, right? And we're pushing the truck up the mountain. And we get it up the mountain, but then there was like a lady at the bottom, and she asked for some help. And so we're like, all right, we'll go back and help her. So we started pushing her, and I don't remember the details, right? But like I remember like we tried helping her. And then like the craziest shit happened. Like there was a fucking snowplow that came through, and this snowplow, like he tried to go around this lady that was stuck, but he fucking just, the side of his plow just sliced the side of her driver's side car, and so she just had a fucking giant slash going through her car. It was crazy. And like I'm pretty sure I have like picture or video somewhere, a little bit, but I remember she's like, the fucking, I don't remember, like somebody said some shit about seeing the snow or something, but I remember her saying like, I didn't want to see the snow like this, and it's like, fuck yeah, dude, like, nah, you didn't, but like, I don't know what's gonna happen, because I've heard that like, you know, if those people hit you or whatever, like you gotta watch out for them, like it's your fault. So I don't know if that's true or not, but she had a nice car, so she definitely had insurance. I don't know if her insurance is going up or not, but yeah, that shit was crazy. So we get up that hill, right? And then once I'm moving, I'm fine. I'm just cruising. But then we get to the place where we got to go, like the town, and we start driving off the back roads and stuff. And then we get to a part, and it's like, fuck, we get stuck again. So we're like, pushing that shit. We get up this hill, And then we fucking go, and then we get stuck at this other one, and it's like, fuck, dude. And we're like, and we couldn't fucking get it. We're trying. And then finally, this guy came and helped like tow us. He's like, it was like, I don't know, probably like 10 minutes. It wasn't too long, but this guy comes around and like we couldn't get out, and so he helped tow us out. And then we got there, and we were pretty much to the house. So we made it to the house after that, and we got there, and then or the cabin, and then at the cabin, like that's when we partied, like just everything you could think of: acid, mushrooms, alcohol, of course, weed. It was just a party, right? And I remember it was crazy because we barely fucking made it up there, and then some other, like, I think it was like 3 other people were coming in a separate vehicle, and they ended up just parking their vehicle down at the bottom. I think they came the next day, so they parked at the bottom, and we had to go help them or go pick them up. But I had to go to the fucking, I think it was Napa. I had to go to like the Napa Auto Parts and pick up some snow chains, and then I was able to make it back up without help or whatever. But yeah, that was a crazy time, and it was a crazy night too. Everyone doing drugs and stuff, and I didn't really do anything that night. I don't think I really fucked with anything too much. Like, I didn't take any acid. I didn't do any shrooms. I probably drank a little, maybe smoked a little, but yeah, I didn't do much. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of over this video already. It's like, yeah, I've done a lot of drugs. Maybe not a lot compared to some people, but I've done enough. And I'd say like coke, crack, not cool. Alcohol, not really that cool with. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not really. Weed's like whatever. Like, I still think it's bad for the lungs, you know? It's like if you're taking the edibles, maybe you'd be alright, but I did that like 23andMe thing, and I remember them like mentioning on that, like, if you're a smoker, you're more likely to smoke more or something like that. And like, this was like when I was just picking it up. I wasn't smoking weed that much, and I'm like, nah, man, like, that's crazy. And it's like, now, like, I don't smoke cigarettes, and I wonder if I would have never got involved in weed, if like I would have picked up cigarettes. But now I see it, I'm like, yeah, like, smoke more, like, fuck yeah, like, I smoke a lot, but it's like dabs. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of over it, because I don't know, it's fucking, you know, it's drugs. Who cares? Like, if you're young and you're trying to have some fun, cool, you know? You're trying to go to EDC, like trying to go to a rave and party or something, but I don't know. I'm 30. I'm over it, you know? I'm over it. So, just trying to think if there's anything else I want to throw in this video, because it's going to be pretty short. Maybe not. I don't know, it's gonna be under an hour, but alright, well, I don't know anything else to say. Like, I'm sure there's more I could, but like I said, I'm over it, so that's it. No more drugs, just weed, just fucking medication. See, and that's the other thing too, like, I didn't really talk about like drugs, like medication, you know, like prescription drugs that much, but they try to like prescribe me some shit, but I like to try to stay off all drugs. So right now I'm pretty much only smoking weed. Like, that's my only drug. So if I could kick that, then I'd be good. But yeah, man, you know, if you want to try it, have some fun, whatever, but I don't think drugs are I don't think drugs are the solution for anything, you know? Like, unless it's short term, like, it's a short term, like, you know, you need some pain relief immediately. Like, I broke my arm, fuck, that shit hurts, you know? But to be on drugs for like 5-10 years or more, okay, I take that back. There's certain things, cause like this crazy shit happened. This is after I got back from the army, but my sister, she's like, I don't know, probably like at least 17, 18, something like that at the time. And then she has her first seizure, and it was the craziest shit ever, because like I'm sitting there talking to her, and she just falls face first to the ground, and fucking, I don't know, it was kind of weird for me, right? But my whole point is, like, she has to take meds, and she has to take meds every single fucking day. And I mean, I didn't really get it until recently, because earlier this year, my roommate, his dog, he had like a 4-year-old white lab, and she started having seizures. And so like one time she's like having the seizure, I'm like, oh shit, and like he's out of state. And so I hit him up and I'm like, yo, you know, like what the fuck, like what should I do? And like, I don't know, like I didn't take her in that night or whatever. And then she was like, that was the only one she had. And then the next day she had another, and I'm like, yo, like I gotta take her in, man. Like, and then I want to say she probably had like another, and I want to say like, so by the time like I had her in, got her to the place, she had 3. But yeah, so then they started giving her meds, and she was on these meds and all this different crazy shit. And he was just like, this is a lot of fucking meds to be giving her. And he talked to this doctor in Mexico, this vet in Mexico, and he's like, yeah, you could like start taking her off some of this stuff. So like he wasn't giving her the meds, and then she started having all these fucking seizures. Like just one night, man, he's like, yo, man, and like I came down, and like she was just having seizure after seizure after seizure. Like it was insane and not cool. It was sad, but it was fucked up too, because he spent thousands of dollars over months like trying to get her better, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, he thought like she's doing good and stuff, so he stopped the meds for a few days, and like, you know, 1 week without meds, that was it. And like when we took her into the vet, I remember her saying like, you know, like, yeah, we can try to get her under control and stuff, but we don't know what kind of damage this did to her. Like she got like overheated and stuff. So it's like there's just a lot, and it's like to get it under control now it's just gonna be even harder. And so it was like the better decision was just to put her down, and like that shit was hard, because like they brought her in and she's just like like crying and shit, and fucking tongues hanging out her mouth. Like it was sad, but that kind of like woke me up. I'm like, damn, like if that was my sister, you know, if she just stopped taking her meds, that'd probably happen to her. And so, if you fucking have seizures, take your meds, man, because that shit's scary. And I don't know. I mean, I'm torn between like some other meds. For example, say you have cancer, you know, I'm kind of torn on that, because I don't know, my dad died of cancer, and he was getting all these meds and shit, nothing helped. And I remember they tried to go to California to get a bone marrow transplant, and he ended up dying over there. And I don't know, maybe the bone marrow transplant would have worked, maybe it wouldn't, but as I've gotten older, I've realized like that's kind of like a last ditch effort, you know, like they do chemo and other shit like that first, like radiation therapy. But yeah, that shit didn't work. So, you know, it got me thinking like, man, I don't know, like I know there's statistics like, yo, this shit worked like for this cancer, but I would have to base it on the numbers, you know, like they say 90% of the time this cures it, then fine, give it to me, you know. But I don't know, there's other things too, like I kind of believe in the diet, you know, maybe you eat the right things, maybe you're eating the wrong things, and that's like promoting that shit. Like I don't know. I think there's a lot to talk about with the body, and a lot of people don't understand. Like shit, I don't even understand, but I just think there's like so many pieces to the puzzle that it's not just one thing. Like, oh, you take this drug, like, yeah, maybe you take that drug, maybe you don't. Like, maybe you eat better, maybe you don't. But like, you got to do a bunch of things. Like, yeah, maybe you take that drug, maybe you eat better, maybe you start exercising, like maybe you drink more water, you know, maybe you're doing like all this other shit too. But I don't know, you know, I think each drug has its place, and I've never done some shit like ayahuasca, but I've heard about that, or like DMT, I heard about that shit too. But I don't know, I feel like you know, they're just experiences, and that's why I did them. That's why, like, when the opportunity presented itself, I would just roll with the group. I would just do what they did, you know, because I wanted to have a memory. I wanted to have experiences. And I didn't want to be that guy like, all right, see, I'm gonna go back home and just fucking watch TV, you know. But that's what I'm doing now. I'm fucking just by myself doing my own thing. But I'm 30, so I don't know if I don't need to be partying and doing all that shit. You know, I have my memories, I had my experiences. Like, you learn from that shit, and just makes you a better person, you know. I think it does. I think my I don't know, I think like my IQ or whatever, you know, my consciousness or whatever, I think I've just expanded, like, taking drugs. I've learned more. I've seen things from different points of view and different perspectives, and it's made me kind of step back and be able to look at life in a different way than before. Like, I remember just being a square, always thinking I was always right, just, you know, fucking, I don't know, maybe I would have been like a good businessman or something. Maybe I could have been grinding, making some money, but it wasn't fun, you know. It wasn't the true me, I guess. I don't know. I don't even think this is the true me, but maybe it is. So I don't know. Oh, that's one of the things I think about weed. People talk about weed like, oh, it does this, it does that. Like, I think it kind of amplifies how you're feeling. Like, maybe not all of them. Like, it's crazy. That's one of the things I'm fascinated with weed, is there's so many different strains that, like, this strain can make you feel a certain way as opposed to this strain. And I'm like, damn, dude. So, like, this one weed is like multiple medications, you know, or it can be multiple medications. And so, I mean, shit, I could talk about that for a long time. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make a video about weed. So I'm at 30 already, so I'm gonna have to go put this on my computer. But go ahead, smash that like, subscribe, man, because I'm throwing these out. Hopefully you're enjoying them. Alright, so I just put that video on my computer, make some space, but I'm like, fuck, I just want to go chill, eat some lunch now, you know? But I'm like, I might as well just bang out this last video so I can finish up this drug podcast, whatever I'm gonna call it. But I was thinking, man, I could probably talk about this weed for a long time, you know, if I wanted to. But I'm not really feeling it. But, you know, so here it goes. So, weed, man, I think it's so fascinating. Like, I was talking about the different strains, but also they talk about how you have receptors in your brain for, I don't know if it's THC or CBD or whatever, but you have receptors. So it's like, damn, dude, like, if you have that shit, you should be taking it in, right? I don't know. Or they saying, like, maybe your ancestors took it in so much that, like, your body adapted. I don't know, but I'm feeling like it should be a part of our lives. And then you see those videos where, like, those kids are having seizures and, like, nothing's helping, and then they put the little drops on their tongue and they fucking stop. It's like, damn, dude. Yeah, and then when I was growing weed, like, that shit was fascinating, you know, because I had to fucking research and learn a lot, you know, and just watching the plant grow and learning about it, that was fascinating. Man, I'm not gonna be able to talk about shit right now. I just want to take a break, you know? Damn. Alright, well, I guess I don't really have shit to say, so I'm gonna end the video. I know it's not what I wanted, but whatever. It is what it is, so alright, I'll catch y'all later.